Breaking news! The mood today is heavy. Yesterday, the Pats suffered a bitter loss against the Giants, and the feeling is a mix of sadness and anger. Mistakes we simply cannot accept, poor execution, wrong decisions, and missed opportunities. An absolute absurdity for a team of our size. But listen, this is not the time to hang our heads. We need to face this loss head on, understand where we went wrong, and fix it immediately so it doesn't happen again in the upcoming games. The talent and competence are here. We just need to turn it into results on the field. And even in this tough moment, I say with conviction, Elliott and Vrabel, I believe. Because I know that together they can get us back on track. Many already say we have what it takes to reach the Super Bowl, and I don't doubt that for a second. We just need to adjust now, while there's still time. In just a moment, we'll dive deeper into that. But first, let's get into today's first news. The preseason finale has arrived, and there is no better way to set the stage than with Patriots versus Giants. Yes, it's just preseason, but you and I both know this matchup carries history. This will be the 32nd time these two franchises collide in a preseason game, and it feels like a tradition as inevitable as death and taxes. Patriots versus Giants, the final tune-up before the real season begins, and the storylines surrounding this game are fascinating enough to keep every fan on edge until the final whistle. This is not just about who wins a meaningless August contest, it's about roster spots, trade value, and decisions that could shape the Patriots' regular season. What makes this preseason finale so intriguing is not only the rivalry flavor but also the uncertainty around who will actually suit up. According to Mike Rice, a number of players are unlikely to be available, including Kendrick Bourne, Christian Gonzalez, Anthony Jennings, Cam Riley, and Kyle Williams, among others. Still, the way practice wrapped up recently, starters being pushed through sprints while backups handled situational work, raised questions. Would Mike Vrabel, true to his old-school reputation, really consider playing some of his key starters in this final exhibition? It would be unusual in today's NFL, but not completely unthinkable for a coach who values toughness and reps. Fans will have to watch closely because whether the big names take the field or not will set the tone for the night. Then there's the trade buzz. Kyle Duggar and Anthony Jennings are right in the middle of it. Reports suggest both could be available, though Duggar's contract has been viewed as a stumbling block. If you're the Patriots and you're serious about building trade value, you almost have to play them. Sitting them on the sidelines does nothing to raise their stock. Getting them on the field, however, especially against the Giants under the lights, could remind rival GMs what they're capable of. It's a showcase as much as it is a rehearsal, and New England knows every snap counts. Jennings has drawn more external interest than Duggar so far, but either way, the Patriots need clarity. Are these pieces of the future or assets to be moved before final cuts? While the veterans dominate the rumor mill, a newcomer is demanding attention. Elijah Ponder, an undrafted free agent linebacker out of Cal Poly, has been one of the surprises of camp. Linebackers coach Mike Smith couldn't stop praising his athletic ability, quick learning, and fearlessness in practice. Smith even went as far as calling Ponder one of the best undrafted free agent pickups he's ever seen, which is not something you hear every summer. Ponder's college stats, 41 tackles, 12.5 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, and 14 quarterback hits, already made him intriguing, but it's his performance in live games that's been turning heads. Against Minnesota, in a down-to-the-wire finish, Ponder came off the edge like a missile, hitting the quarterback and forcing a floating pass that Kyle Duggar intercepted. Plays like that don't just get you noticed, they get you on a roster. Thursday night may very well be Ponder's chance to lock his name into the Patriots' 53-man roster. But if you want drama, nothing in this preseason has matched the battle for kicker. Andreas Borgegales, drafted in the 6th round, and John Parker Romo, brought in as a free agent, are locked in what might be the tightest competition anywhere on the Patriots roster. Both went 5 for 5 in their most recent practice, drilling kicks from the 30s to the 50-yard range. Borgegales did miss a 56-yarder against the Packers, while Romo drilled a 57-yarder the week before, giving him a slight edge in the big leg department. Special teams coach Jeremy Springer made it clear, draft status doesn't matter. Vrabel's message is simple, earn it. And the truth is, this decision might literally come down to a single kick against the Giants. Imagine that, weeks of camp, countless reps, and maybe one field goal in MetLife Stadium decides who becomes the Patriots kicker for 2025. That's drama. So here we are, Patriots versus Giants. The last chance to experiment, the last chance to evaluate, and the last chance for bubble players to prove they belong. After this, everything changes. The real games arrive. The stress, the highs, the lows, the weeks defined by whether New England walks away victorious or not. That's what makes this night so valuable. It's the final chance for fans to enjoy football without the weight of standings and playoff pictures hanging over every play. But don't underestimate it either. This is where jobs are won. This is where the Patriots' depth is tested. And this is where decisions about trades, roster locks, and positional battles are finalized. By the end of Thursday night, we'll know more about who Mike Vrabel trusts, who Elliott Wolf may move on from, and who might just be the hidden gem that pushes New England further this season. So now I'll throw it to you, Patriots fans. Who are you watching most closely in this finale? Is it Duggar and Jennings, hoping they boost their trade stock? Elijah Ponder, the undrafted sensation fighting for a dream? Or are you glued to the kicker duel that may define clutch moments all season long? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear exactly where your eyes will be on Thursday night. And the truth is, this game is more than a typical August clash. It's the kind of night that forces an organization to make hard decisions. The kind of night that can elevate a no-name rookie into a household Patriots story or close the chapter on a veteran who never quite fit into Vrabel's vision for this team. Every preseason finale brings cuts, and every cut brings shockwaves through the locker room. Some players will walk into that stadium Thursday with everything on the line, futures, careers, and paychecks, while others will use it as a tune-up for the grind ahead. That balance, that razor-thin margin between staying and going, is what makes these games so gripping for fans who know how fragile an NFL career really is. The offensive line is another subplot to watch. The projected starters, Will Campbell, Jared Wilson, Garrett Bradbury, Mike Onwenu, and Morgan Moses, have their spots locked in, but the depth pieces behind them remain unsettled. This game gives Vrabel and his staff one last extended look at who can step in if injuries pile up, which we all know happens in every NFL season. Protecting the quarterback is priority number one, and the Patriots can't afford to misjudge which linemen have the ability to rise to the occasion when the real bullets start flying. For fans, it might not always be flashy to watch trench battles, but those small reps in August can decide whether the offense sinks or swims in December. Now, let's circle back to Kyle Duggar. Think about it. Just a year ago, Duggar was seen as one of the most reliable defenders on the roster, a cornerstone piece in the secondary. Fast forward to this preseason, and he's taking snaps in the fourth quarter of meaningless games. That's not just a fall from grace, it's a signal. When you see a veteran relegated to late-game snaps alongside players fighting for jobs, it means one of two things. Either the team is testing his value for a possible move, or they no longer view him as indispensable. The Duggar situation might be the clearest indicator yet that New England is willing to shift pieces around if it means gaining draft capital or clearing cap space. Anthony Jennings' name floating in trade talks adds to that drama, but Duggar's slide down the depth chart is the true storyline to monitor. Another element worth keeping in mind is how this game will reveal Vrabel's coaching DNA. He's been praised for his toughness, his willingness to push players, and his no-nonsense approach to roster competition. That culture is being tested right here. If he sits his starters, he shows he's adapting to the modern NFL's risk-averse preseason style. If he plays them, even briefly, it shows he's leaning into his old-school mentality, demanding live reps to sharpen the blade before week one. Whichever way he goes, fans will get a clearer picture of what kind of identity Vrabel